I've got something really fun up on the quilting bed today, and I want to share it with you. Norm brought this over. He likes to make a lot of quilts for people that are part of his life and have touched his life and have really shared something that has been beneficial to him. He likes to go to donuts every weekend with his wife and meet friends there sometimes. And at the donut shop, he's come across a little fellow that's 3 years old and made friends with him and his mommy. And he wants to make a little quilt for this youngster. Look at that. So this is floating blocks. And he asked the mommy what kinds of things the little boy likes. And she says, well, very boy things, fire trucks and outdoors and cars and animals. And so he's filled his full floating blocks with all of those types of motifs. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just such a lovely, lovely personal gesture? And then they're all floating up in the sky right here. He's also made a pillowcase for this youngster out of these same designs with the fire engines at the top and then these spacemen coming around. So this little youngster is really going to enjoy it. Because it has the floating blocks, the backing that he chose is very bright and angular, and he wanted something that would complement the front in the same way. So you can see that it's got a lot of these angular designs on it, and it's a super bright and busy design. He's really happy with it. We talked about what kind of a stitch to go on it, and ultimately the thing that he chose is my little dinosaur. Let's see if I can show you. Here's the tail and the legs, and we're coming up Brontosaurus right there. Isn't he so cute? So in the long run, we've gone with the Brontosaurus on there. I'm doing it my ocean blue color thread just to add some blue. He said I want it to match this exact blue right here, and that's what we're doing for it. So a lot of specifications, and I love it when my clients know what they want. This design, I have actually alternated, so the dinosaurs are fitting inside of each other to fill the gap as much as possible. And so on the side, that means it needs to cut off a part of a dinosaur. Like that's his little front leg, and there's his little nose right there. So it's kind of cut part of it off to take it clear to the edge, because I don't want Norm to be trimming his quilt and then be cutting all the threads if the design has gone past there. Notoriously, something signature that Norm almost always does is a mitered corner. It doesn't matter what kind of fabric he has going, he is the mitered corner king, and I just love it. Whether he has straight one type of fabric, or whether one color fabric, or whether he has a motif that deserves to go around the corner, it doesn't matter. He always does a mitered corner, and I love it. I would implore you to consider a mitered corner if you have the fabric to be able to do so. It does take a little bit more fabric, a little more expertise, but it will elevate your quilt. He's also, we've also been using Frankenstein batting, and right here, the batting has been attached with batting tape right here. I promise you, nobody is going to know. It's perfectly fine to have your batting attached in a couple of pieces. In fact, that's literally what's happened. Let me pull this up here and show you. Even here, there's some horizontal attachment of the backing. Of the batting. There's some vertical attachment of the batting. I promise you, friends, when my stitching gets on there and your binding gets on there, or maybe I'm binding it for you, I promise you nobody is going to know. That stitching is going to hold it down tight, and your binding is going to cover everything up. If you have some smaller pieces of batting, let's get them used up. Let's get them in a quilt and create something beautiful for your friends or family, and be able to get it cuddled and move on those pieces of batting. Have an amazing quilty day.